Hollywood's always been a wild ride, where today's starlet can be tomorrow's headline scandal. But Rachel Zegler's story? This one's on a whole other level. One minute she's the industry's next big thing, the next she's drowning in drama, with the internet turning on her like she kicked a Disney puppy. So, how did Rachel go from red carpet royalty to Hollywood's cautionary tale practically overnight?
Rachel Zegler was supposed to believe is just so striking that even the supermodel like Gal Gadot is supposed to be homicidically jealous of her. I mean, we're supposed to completely suspend our disbelief.
At first, it was like something straight out of a movie. Rachel wasn't just discovered, she blew up thanks to a viral audition video that snagged her the lead role in Steven Spielberg's high-profile remake of West Side Story. Critics raved, fans fell in love, and industry folks were whispering she was the new face of a generation. She had the look, the voice, the charm, the full package. In interviews, Rachel couldn't hide her excitement. She was starstruck just talking about Spielberg personally picking her. She shared how she grew up dreaming of seeing her name in lights and promised to honor the original West Side Story while adding her own modern flair. It all felt magical.
I mean, people thought my whole trajectory was fake, and sometimes I wake up and I think my whole trajectory is fake, but it's just a testament to taking chances.
And social media ate it up. She was trending for all the right reasons. Fans loved how grateful and down-to-earth she seemed. Behind closed doors, industry insiders even started predicting she'd become a household name way faster than most newcomers. But if you looked closely, the red flags were already there. Backstage whispers began making the rounds. Some folks quietly said Rachel was a bit too bold for someone so new. A few crew members mentioned clashes with choreographers. Nothing wild, just the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff that usually gets brushed off. At first, no one took it seriously. Everyone was too busy being dazzled. But as the West Side Story press tour picked up steam, so did the gossip. Sources from inside the production claimed Rachel had a habit of pushing back on choreography, halting shoots over creative disagreements. Others said she didn't vibe with the costume department, insisting her outfits didn't reflect her vision of the character or didn't flatter her enough for the cameras. At that point, people stopped calling her passionate and started calling her a problem. Spielberg, who's known for running chill, collaborative sets, didn't say much, but the vibe started shifting. He'd gone all in on Rachel publicly, so he wasn't about to throw her under the bus. Still, insiders claimed that behind the scenes, patience was wearing thin. Some reports said Rachel wasn't just picky about costumes and choreography, she was even critiquing camera angles and debating dialogue like she was co-directing the film. That rubbed Spielberg's longtime crew the wrong way. They allegedly tried to step in and explain that the magic of working with a director like him comes from trust, not tug-of-war. But according to the T, Rachel wasn't having it. She believed in her vision, even if it clashed with the Hollywood legends. Publicly, Spielberg kept it classy. He praised the movie and let Rachel shine during the promo run. But eagle-eyed fans noticed something weird. While he showered co-star Ariana DeBose with compliments, Rachel was more like a footnote. That got people talking. Was he holding back praise on purpose? Whatever was happening, Rachel seemed to shrug it off as she landed an even bigger gig, Disney's live-action Snow White. This was supposed to be her coronation moment. A $250 million budget, a fairy tale everyone knew by heart, and the power of Disney magic behind her. But instead of becoming her crowning achievement, it turned into the beginning of a full-blown PR meltdown. Things started going sideways fast. From the start, people weren't loving the new direction. Disney made bold changes, like swapping out the dwarves with magical creatures, and hardcore fans weren't here for it. But the real fuel to the fire came from Rachel herself. She started making comments about how the original Snow White was creepy and called the prince a stalker. Those quotes? They exploded online, and not in a good way. Fans were furious. Disney traditionalists dragged her in every comment section. It wasn't just criticism anymore, it was a war between old-school Disney lovers and Rachel's bold new take. By the time the movie actually came out, the damage was already done. Fans were skeptical. And when the reviews hit, total disaster. Critics called it forced, hollow, and desperate to be woke. Rachel's performance got roasted for lacking the heart and magic people expected from a Disney princess. Behind closed doors, Disney execs reportedly went into crisis mode. This movie wasn't supposed to flop, it was supposed to be a guaranteed blockbuster. Instead, it became a huge loss, both financially and publicly. And guess who was getting the most heat? Rachel Zegler. Her name was suddenly everywhere in and not in the way a rising star wants. To make matters worse, old interview clips resurfaced and went viral all over again, the ones where Rachel criticized the original Snow White instead of honoring it. Fans felt like she didn't respect the character. Some were willing to forgive, but they were expecting some kind of apology, a little humility, a statement, something. But instead of damage control, Rachel doubled down. Fans who once rooted for Rachel Zegler as the fresh new face of West Side Story started asking themselves, were we sold a dream? Was this all just a perfectly packaged PR play cooked up by Disney and Spielberg? Then came another curveball, Spielberg's ongoing silence. You'd think with all this controversy, the legendary director might chime in, even just to clear the air. But nope. Crickets. And in Hollywood, saying nothing can be louder than any press release. When the most respected filmmaker in the game doesn't step up to defend you, that sends a message, a big one. See, Spielberg has a reputation. He's the guy who champions young talent. He's turned nobodies into icons. But when it came to Rachel, he neither confirmed nor denied those growing rumors that she was difficult on set. He just let the speculation hang in the air, like an awkward silence that says everything without saying a word. And that silence? It spread through the industry like wildfire. People began rewatching old interviews and red carpet clips like they were decoding a mystery. They noticed how Spielberg would gush over Ariana DeBose but barely mention Rachel. Every smile was dissected, every pause overanalyzed. Was that a cold shoulder? A passive-aggressive grin? Suddenly, every interaction became potential proof that something behind the scenes had definitely gone wrong. No one outside Spielberg's circle truly knows what happened. But in Hollywood, perception is reality. And the consensus was clear. If he had something nice to say, he would have said it by now. Even during awards season, he poured love on everyone else in the cast, while Rachel got the equivalent of a polite head nod, and things only got messier from there. After the Snow White remake flopped harder than anyone imagined, people started whispering again, louder this time. Would Spielberg say anything to support his former starlet, now that her name was back in the headlines? Once again, he stayed silent. And in this business, silence like that is often seen as the final nail in the coffin. Suddenly, the word blacklist started making the rounds. Not the official kind. Hollywood doesn't hand out scarlet letters, but the quiet kind, where people just stop calling, where agents stop pitching, where producers quietly cross your name off the casting list. Rachel, once a rising star with all the buzz, was now being talked about as a liability. Behind closed doors, execs started asking the hard questions. Was it worth the risk to hire someone surrounded by so much drama? With every leaked story about her supposed on-set behavior or off-script remarks, the red flags grew. Some studios, according to insiders, had already dropped her from upcoming project considerations. They didn't want another high-budget disaster tied to an unpredictable lead. The thought process was brutally simple. If Spielberg can't make it work with her, who can? No one wants to roll the dice on a $100 million movie with someone who might challenge direction, stir up social media backlash, or bring unwanted headlines. Directors don't want the drama. Studios don't want the risk. And fans? They've started moving on. Still, not everyone's writing her off just yet. Some insiders believe Rachel could turn things around, if she plays her cards right. That would mean swallowing her pride, offering a genuine apology, and maybe doing a few smaller, low-key projects to rebuild trust. Indie films, character roles, anything to prove that she's serious about her craft and not just chasing headlines. Hollywood does love a comeback, but those stories only work when there's reflection, humility, and a willingness to grow. And right now, that's the million-dollar question. Is Rachel ready to take that path, or will she double down again and risk slipping even further from the spotlight? Because this isn't just about a few bad interviews or a box office bomb. It's about what happens when talent clashes with image, when the fairy tale starts falling apart in front of a global audience. Rachel Zegler's rise and fall has become a cautionary tale in real time, unfolding across red carpets, viral videos, and press junkets gone wrong. One minute, she was the sweet newcomer everyone rooted for. The next, she's the face of a failed film and endless online debates. In Hollywood, it's never just about talent, it's about timing, tact, and knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet. So now, the industry waits, fans wait, directors wait. Will Rachel write her redemption arc or become another what could have been story left behind in the Hollywood dust? One thing's for sure, the cameras are still rolling, and the world is watching.